Hello, welcome to my weekly show, My Top Tips, 91st episode, inching towards century, which will be a grand event. Please look forward to that. Every week, I do this at 9:30 a.m. IST. Today, it's early because of time clash with another activity, but the recording will be available on LinkedIn. We are live on LinkedIn and also on my YouTube channel. Intent is to keep these sessions, these episodes to 15 minutes. But today, the topic being such that I may take a little longer. Discussion today is about hate speech. Very timely topic, I believe. And also because it hurts us personally more than organizationally, I'm calling it a hidden threat to personal resilience. Atten- Intent is to cover how to consume hate speech, counter hate speech, and then mend after hate speech because it is understood, admitted that there will be some damage for sure. While it is often viewed as a social or political issue, the real impact is intensely personal on us people, human beings. Hate speech does not just offend, it can shake your identity, mental peace, and resilience, overall resilience. That is why today I will share how to consume, counter, and mend the effects of hate speech so, so that we stay grounded, strong, and emotionally protected. According to United Nations, hate speech is any kind of communication that attacks or uses discriminatory language with reference to a person or a group based on their religion, ethnicity, nationality, or race, color, descent, gender, or other identity factor. This may be hate speech, may be expressed in any form, multiple forms. It may be spoken or written or visual or symbolic. Sometimes we don't speak, we don't write, but we may have some gestures or symbols. It hurts us in multiple ways. It can be in many forms we saw, and it hurts or it can hurt us in many multiple ways. For example, demeans, insults, threatens, or and discriminates against people based on identity factors, which may be multiple, as we see here, based on race, people's race, ethnicity, religion, belief, gender, sexual orientation, disability, caste, nationality, or and appearance. As we see at many other places also, it can be either of these or a multiple of these. As I said, it can be in many forms. So, for example, verbal insult and threat, social media attack and harassment, and a lot has been happening at this front these days, social media. Microaggression and backhanded joke, symbol, graffiti, and or coded language. So we need to be aware of all these. That's one of the challenges. That sometimes we may not even understand this is hate speech. So we may, it's about any risk or any danger. First step is to be able to recognize it. Then only we will be able to consume, counter, or mend it. In all of these multiple factors, there is a common threat. When we said these can be in multiple forms, can hurt us in multiple ways, there is always a common threat, which is hate speech aims to isolate, wound, or devalue a person or group. The pain it causes is not organizational. I'm repeating this. It is deeply individual. And this is why I'm linking today's episode with personal resilience. When we say personal resilience is at stake, in danger, because hate speech challenges our self worth. We start doubting ourselves. Hurts or impacts our belonging and emotional safety. There is huge emotional drain because of hate speech. And then can be multiple chain reaction also. It may cause us anxiety or stress or depression or identity based trauma. Who am I? Or withdrawal from public or professional spaces. We'll start going back, retracting or withdrawing ourselves. We go in silence. Or we may have unsafe feelings or invalidated feelings. These are the impacts of hate speech on ourselves, on people. Hate speech is not only a social injustice, but also a threat to personal resilience. We personally need to be resilient because resilient people make resilient organizations, which make resilient communities, and ultimately the resilient planet that we all look forward to. So, quick look at consuming, countering, and mending hate speech. My top tips. Consume it without letting it consume you. So pause before reacting. Always a good practice in any crisis management. Speed is of essence, but pausing also is important. That split second breath protects your emotional space. Label it. This is hate speech. Naming it helps detach its emotional sting. I know it's hate speech, I can take my own time to again consume, counter, or mend. And don't absorb it. If you have to let it go, let it flow out, please let it. It reflects the speaker's prejudice, not your identity. Very important point, according to me. The person who is spreading hate speech against you, about you, it's his or her problem, not yours. Then you will be able to manage it well. Let's have a look at this quick video, short video from United Nations. The message here is once again, pause before you share information. Taking some time to load. Stay with me, please. Don't let misinformation impact you. Pause. Again and again. Take a break. Have a break, have a break. It helps in crisis management. Next message from me to you is to counter hate speech with courage and strategy. Not all hate deserves your energy. But silence is not always strength either. Do not let someone use freedom of speech incorrectly. We know this is being misused, freedom of speech. So quickly look at then what is freedom of speech? United Nations says a fundamental human right. Freedom of speech is a fundamental human right, also known as freedom of expression. This includes the freedom to hold opinions without interference and to seek, receive, and impart information and ideas through any media, regardless of frontiers. So this is United Nations definition of freedom of speech, which is misused, can be misused, and takes one towards hate speech, knowingly or unknowingly. But freedom of speech definitely does not mean hate speech, defamation, incitement to violence, obscenity and pornography, threats and intimidation, disinformation and misinformation, breach of confidentiality, plagiarism and intellectual property infringement, blasphemy or religious insults, and speech that undermines national security or public order. So what we see is, my intention is these episodes are 15 minutes. Today I may take a little longer also, I said it in the beginning, but there is so much to be discussed here. And I would like to go in next coming up episodes about what is disinformation and what is misinformation, for example. So stay tuned for next episodes also, please. So use facts over fury. Calm responses often disarm hateful intent. This is courage and strategy to counter hate speech. Report, block, and document. You are not weak for using tools, you are wise. So if you receive it on WhatsApp, for example, block that person. If it's a particular platform, unsubscribe from that platform, for example. Do not hesitate to block. This is not weakness. Support others. Speak up when someone else is targeted. Solidarity is resilience. So to make a resilient society, none of my business attitude has to be changed. This is a cultural change that is required in the society. And pick your battles where you want to speak, where you don't, where you want to battle, fight, where you want to retract. So, not every troll deserves attention. Emotional energy is precious. It's energy. Any kind of energy is precious. So, even preserve your emotional energy. So how do you mend or rebuild your emotional grounds? Talk to someone, as simple as that. This may be friends, mentors, therapists. Do not hold it in. Let it flow out. Affirm your identity. Do things that center your values and self-worth. So as the impact is, what is my worth? I'm worthless. So counter it through your values and self-belief. Find safe communities. Being seen and heard helps restore dignity. So retracting, going in silos, silent, hiding does not help. And help others heal. Supporting someone else strengthens both of you, both of us. Giving six principles also. Thoughtful responses to harmful content online. So social media online is happening a lot. One of the most used sources for hate speeches. So I'm giving you six principles. First one is be civil. Use empathy and avoid sarcasm or aggression, even if provoked. This supports resilience by protecting your tone and mental peace. Number two is take your time. Don't rush. Do your homework and respond with informed reasoning. Because resilience in action, responding, not reacting. Third says, find common ground. Assume good intent where possible. Look for shared values. Bridges emotional divides. This bridges emotional divides, making your voice more persuasive. Fourth principle says, lay out the facts. Explain the truth clearly before linking sources. This combats hate with clarity, reducing confusion or escalation. Fifth principle is public or private. Choose the setting wisely. When you went out, when you respond, should it be in public or should it be in private? Sometimes private messages work better. Sometimes, please note it. This avoids unnecessary public drama, protecting your emotional energy. Once again, energy drain, emotional energy drain is bad. So save it. And the last principle, number six, is be patient. Fact checking is a process, not a battle. Speak up consistently. Resilience includes persistence and long term perspective. So, that question which I was saying, whether it should be in public or in private, is it private reflection a strength or a weakness? So, a few points there. We are often advised, especially in emotionally charged situations or hate speech, to respond privately rather than publicly. The idea is noble: avoid public escalation, maintain dignity, and reflect before reacting. But there is a catch in this. In real life, many people perceive silence or private confrontation as weakness. If I do this in private, you feel I'm weak. That's not right. This is where resilience needs balancing with strategy. Ask yourself, will a private message truly lead to reflection? Or is this a situation where a firm but respectful public stance is needed to protect your credibility? Resilience is not silence. It is the ability to remain composed and still do what is right, even if that means confronting hate head on, publicly, but without hate. And remember, you can be calm and courageous at the same time. So calmness and courage can go hand in hand. I'm picking up three cases quickly around these discussions of hate speech, consuming, countering, and mending hate speech. That's the topic today I picked up. So first case is the silent professional misread as weak. So silence is not resilience. Resilience is not silence. We must keep this in mind. So a mid-level manager received a sarcastic, demeaning email from a peer during a company-wide thread, which means it was sent to many. He chose to respond only to the sender, calmly stating his disagreement and suggesting a one-on-one conversation. What happened? Within days, people started saying he didn't defend himself. Maybe he was wrong. So, lesson learned is silence can be misread. Private responses require follow up visibility, like summarizing outcomes later or clarifying your stance more broadly. Second case is the firm public stand with respect. A young woman faced the barrage of caste-based insult on a local community group. Instead of getting angry, she posted a public reply. I know who I am, and no insult defines me. I invite anyone who doubts me to talk to me respectfully. Very well written message. The group admins supported her, and many people applauded her grace. So, lesson we learn here is that public response does not mean shouting back. She did not shout back. She did this respectfully, in a calm tone. Calm firmness builds credibility and teaches others how to respond without becoming toxic. Third and last case today, the risk of one-way reflection. In this case, an employee approached her HR manager privately about a hateful meme shared in an internal WhatsApp group. The HR replied, "Thanks for informing. We have handled it." But the group saw no apology or action. This is a very bad instance from HR point of view. The silence from leadership was louder than words. This is a great hurt pitfall. The silence from leadership was louder than words. So, lesson learned here is hate speech thrives in shadows. If action is taken privately, the harm still lingers publicly. And this is bad. Resilient leaders know that visible accountability is often part of healing. Private reflection is wise, but don't let it silence your strength. Let your resilience be both composed and visible. I would like to leave you with this thought that hate speech wounds, but your response is where resilience is born. Let us not allow the world's ignorance to dim our clarity or shake our confidence. Remember, personal resilience is about protecting your peace, even when the noise outside gets louder. If you have any questions about today's discussions around hate speech, how to consume, counter, and mend it, or about resilience as a whole, please feel free to write to me and I'll be happy to respond. This is your host, Daman Dev Sood, logging off from my weekly show, My Top Tips, every Wednesday, 9:30 a.m. IST. Today I did this earlier due to time clash with another activity. Inching towards the century, 100th episode will be a grand event. Look forward to this. I look forward to seeing you all Wednesday. Thank you. Bye-bye.